evening, everyone. And tonight, the federal government's wages policy is under threat. After a 4-hour top-level meeting, ACTU President Simon Crean has warned of a wages free-for-all if current pay and superannuation claims are not met. However, he believes there may be hope for tighter price controls in exchange for more moderate wage demands. Richard Colville has more.
Today it was the union's turn. The ACTU sent its entire industrial negotiations team to Canberra, a close-knit group highly experienced in intricate negotiating sessions. The team was headed by ACTU President Simon Crean, who, after more than 4 hours of talks, said the unions had agreed to consider further discounting of the next national wage claim, but only in return for the government's agreeing to set up an effective apparatus for more closely monitoring prices in the wholesale and retail sectors.
The government, I think, accepts the fact that there has been significant price taking.
And Mr Crean bluntly warned the government that it could not expect the rank and file of the union movement to continue making sacrifices while other members of the community took the benefits.
It's very difficult keeping the rank and file membership in line in circumstances in which they perceive themselves to be the only ones expected to exercise constraint.
A new storm has erupted over state government plans for a radioactive waste dump in East Gippsland. Tiny Dutson Downs was selected by Premier John Cain and his ministers despite a warning by police and ignoring advice from 3 government departments. Documents show Dutson Downs was not a preferred site. An environmental effects study proposed 6 alternative sites, and Dutson Downs was the only one situated in a non-Labor electorate. The government eventually cancelled plans for the dump after it discovered the IAAF dropped live bombs on a nearby range for target practice. A new site to dump radioactive waste has yet to be announced by the government. And a first-day shock at the new Azaria Chamberlain inquiry in Darwin. Lindy's 12-year-old son, Aidan, is to give evidence. Kevin Hitchcock reports that although the boy was interviewed by police at the time of Azaria's disappearance, he has not been called as a witness at any other hearing.
Darwin is once again the setting for Australia's greatest murder mystery, and this time proceedings are taking place in a hastily built courtroom sited in the former police headquarters. In his opening address, counsel assisting the inquiry, Chester Porter QC, made it quite clear that previous evidence would not be covered unnecessarily and there was plenty of new evidence to come. He said Aidan Chamberlain would be called as a witness, and although only 6 years old at the time, he had given a statement to police which strongly supported his mother's account of a dingo taking Azaria. Mr Porter said if his statement was accepted, then Lindy Chamberlain had to be innocent. He also revealed that Lindy's mother, Avis Murchison, will be called to give evidence about dingo paw prints she observed on a silver space blanket taken from the tent. But the first new evidence, he said, will be a report on the finding of Azaria's matinee jacket 4 months ago. Forensic testing on the jacket is still being carried out in Melbourne.
Police tonight have overpowered a young gunman in a Brisbane rooftop siege, and he's being questioned over the suburban drama. Police sealed off streets surrounding the house in the Sunnybank Hills area of Brisbane as the gunman, wielding a shotgun, fired up to 50 shots. He was drinking from a scotch bottle and smoking heavily as the standoff with police dragged on for almost 3 hours. But it came to an abrupt end as the man reached for a new bottle of drink and apparently dropped his weapon. Emergency squad detectives scaled the roof and took the man into custody. No one was hurt in the siege. However, some shots hit cars and houses in surrounding streets. A cancer-stricken man today made a deathbed plea to see his brother one more time. His brother is one of 5 Americans held hostage in war-torn Beirut. An emotional Glenn Anderson struggled to record the appeal which he hopes might see his brother freed, as John Wiseman reports from New York.
Terry Anderson, a reporter, was kidnapped in March last year. His family has made determined appeals for his release, but he remains one of the victims of the deteriorating situation in Beirut. Anderson's father died during his captivity of cancer. Now, so too is his brother.
This is a message to the people holding my brother Terry. My father died of cancer waiting to see Terry. He did not see him. Now I have cancer. And I made a vow I would not die until I saw Terry. That vow is getting very close to an end. Please release him. I wish to see him one more time. Please release him.
The plea will be broadcast in Beirut. Anderson has seen previous video messages, but his captors have ignored them. He's one of 5 Americans still missing in Lebanon. John Wiseman, Eyewitness News, New York.
Entertainer Paul Hogan is resting comfortably in a Sydney hospital tonight, and he's likely to remain there for at least another week. The star of the hit movie Crocodile Dundee was admitted after complaining of severe headaches and a stiff neck. He's now undergoing a series of tests.
46-year-old comedian and actor was admitted to Royal North Shore yesterday for a series of tests after complaining of severe headaches and a stiff neck. First reports that he'd suffered a stroke were dismissed when initial tests revealed the small hemorrhage, a condition not considered serious.
He's in a very stable condition at the moment. He's quite alert. He'll just be having angiograms and just the normal tests that people go through when they're admitted with severe headache.
Hogan has been flat out recently, both here and in the United States, promoting his hit movie Crocodile Dundee, now the biggest money-making movie in Australian history. Doctors tonight say Hogan simply needs a complete rest and more tests, something expected to keep him in the hospital for the next week. It's the hectic work schedule associated with the movie promotion that appears to have affected Hogan.
In Hollywood today, it was a star for a star. Tom Selleck, star of Channel 10's Magnum P.I., was stopping traffic on Hollywood Boulevard as he accepted Tinseltown's most durable reward, a place on the Walk of Fame.
On Hollywood Boulevard, it was the biggest gathering since Michael Jackson. They came by the busload. They hung over balconies. The crowd was 90% female, and it came to see
Mr. Tom Selleck.
It was his role in Magnum P.I. that made Tom Selleck one of Hollywood's dream success stories. In only 2 years, he rose from unknown to #1 TV hunk, earning $3.5 million a year. And he's a classic case of local boy who made good.
I grew up here, and I used to walk down these streets, and I'd look at these stars, and the thought of having one was about the farthest thing from my mind. So I don't know, maybe it's not there, but I'll check it out soon.
Yes, Tom, it's out there okay. A brand new star to the east of Glenn Miller and to the west of Zsa Zsa Gabor. For the presentation, Tom brought along not only his mum and dad and girlfriend,
and my co-stars, John Hillerman, Roger Mosley, and Larry Minetti.
and of course those ecstatic women. And if you think Selleck hysteria belongs only to faraway Hollywood, take notice that Tom is on his way to Australia soon to make a movie.
Looking now ahead to tomorrow's weather, Melbourne will be fine, mild and mainly sunny with a moderate northerly wind and a top of 17 degrees after an overnight low of a cool 7. The next news here on 10 will be at 6 tomorrow morning in daybreak. Good night.
David Johnston and Joe Pearson lead the Eyewitness News team. We're Melbourne's #1. First with the news at 6 and still the only complete coverage of each important day.
They came out of the darkness, the armored might of the German army in the boldest battle of World War II.
Time is 11 o'clock.
Friday night, an outstanding cast relives the attack that almost changed history.
Blast that tank off the British.
Henry Fonda, Charles Bronson, Robert Shaw and Telly Savalas in The Battle of the Bulge.
Anybody who can carry a rifle is to use it.
Locked in a conflict of raging fury with the world at stake, this was The Battle of the Bulge, 8:30 Friday on Channel 10.
Jag är дуже задоволена Elemented Service na moje auto.
Ho comprato la macchina sul mercato di altre parti di Mr. Elements. Elements is the best in the West. Io non ho fatto nessun rischio a comprare la macchina da Mr. Elements.
Alan Holden, 435 Berkeley Street, Footscray. A country life is waiting for you. Choose your farmland from one of our many locations in Victoria. You can buy for investment or build your own home. Country freedom can be yours by acting now. Contact Selleck Property Advisors.
Saturday night, a killer's on the loose in Paradise.
He's new in the business, looking to make a name for himself.
And Magnum hits the streets to stop him.
Why are you doing this? Why don't you let the police handle it?
He's been set up, and a tough street kid is his only hope.
Hey, look, you didn't talk to me, and I didn't talk to him. Sorry, I can't help you out.
The big guy puts his life on the line.
I've seen it. Let her go! Go to hell, Magnum.
Magnum, 7:30 Saturday on 10.
8:30 Saturday, Dial M for Murder. Grace Kelly, the beautiful but unfaithful wife.
I haven't told him anything about us.
Ray Milland, her scheming husband, plotting the perfect crime.
£1,000 in cash. For a murder? A few minutes' work, that's all it is.
A mystery thriller from the master of suspense.
Hello? Hello?
Alfred Hitchcock's Dial M for Murder, 8:30 Saturday on 10.
The judge will be here any minute. Are you finished